Today we're going to talk about building a freedom funnel. And we call this methodology that we're going to teach you, and it's called, we've named it Cash Cow. And it's a little bit different than maybe something you've seen in the past, and I'll tell you why. And hopefully everyone will be able to stick on to the end. I will say, this is a process, but before we jump into it, I want to talk to you guys about the 8 stages of real estate business. This is a document that was actually created by me and my business partner, and everybody on this training today falls into one of these categories, assuming everybody's a professional real estate agent. You're either solopreneur, seeker, grower, hustler, maybe you're an entrepreneur. But your job when you want to grow your business is to know which one of these categories you fall into. In fact, when I talk to real estate agents, I've talked to probably 4 or 5 agents today, and I talk to agents all the time. And when I'm talking to them specifically about helping them increase their production, I'm trying to get an idea of where they are, because where you are is actually typically in alignment with a principle, right? So if you're a solopreneur and you've been there for a couple years selling 0 to 14 homes, maybe you feel lost. And a lot of the times, you have to know, how do I get out of this rut? How do I break through from, selling 12 deals a year to 48 deals, right? And, there's a lot of mistakes to avoid, but ultimately you want to be able to establish yourself where you can articulate your value, demonstrate your value, make your value visible, because a lot of your production is going to create motivation. I've always said, does motivation create production, or does production create motivation, right? It's like the chicken or the egg. But as you move up this to these other stages, seekers and growers, these are stages where you're really starting to need to put sales processes in place, marketing processes in place. And if you do all that right, you end up at this hustler stage, which is actually a great stage because you're making a lot of money. It could be a terrible stage for your kids, your family, anybody who visits you during the holidays, because you got so much going on and you're hustling. And, you typically, if you don't learn the art of delegating, if you don't understand, the different types of revenue, creating a sale, servicing a sale, if you're doing low dollar productive an hour activities, like putting out the signs, showing up to this, doing that. If you're still doing all those things, man, you can be stuck there and make a lot of money. And, it's almost like time flies. It's when you transition to being an entrepreneur where you really start to understand the value and bringing on people and different stuff to that nature. But this is the 8 stages. If you like it, go check it out. Me and my business partner did a video on it where we went through in detail of every stage. I think it's it's one of my most watched videos on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Michael Reese. Not too difficult. So go check it out. But your job is to determine what stage of business you're at. And what I do is I work with people to help put them on the path. And the path is, if you look at it, at the end of the day, we have this transactional income, and our goal is to start getting leveraged income. And you can get leverage a lot of different ways. You can get, when you're in the transactional box. I spoke to a guy in Colorado this morning. It wasn't this morning, it was this afternoon. I guess it was morning somewhere. But I spoke to this gentleman, and he does about 12 deals a year. And, he bangs out a 12 consistently. Well, he hasn't put any of the leverage things in place, and he's really got a diving board business. He has like one thing that he's done, and it's not really scalable or duplicatable. And so, he really has a job. He owns a job, and his job is helping people buy or sell houses. If you aspire to, really take advantage of the opportunity that real estate provides us, at some point, you have to look at it like a business, and with the business, you own a system. So think about today's webinar as me sharing a system where I've helped people go from production to actually, from my point of view, crossing over into the business category, because they're actually getting systems, processes, scalability, consistency, things that are duplicatable. And so, but I do realize that there is a fact. These are the facts. These are the NAR numbers. 1.6 million NAR numbers. 87% of agents fail within the first 5 years due to inadequate funds, lack of sales skills, poor marketing. If you have the right funds, if you have the right sales skills, and if you know how to market, you're going to be successful in this business. and I would actually go out on a limb and say, you know, for what the big thing for me when I got into real estate was my mentor told me you should have an unlimited budget for things that are working. And that was an important paradigm shift, because I know the numbers. I used to say you can't afford a market if you can't afford a measure, right? And so a lot of agents, you know, they find their things, they find their transactions, they do friends and family. And after all that's said and done, they kind of hit a brick wall. And if they stay in long enough, maybe they make enough friends, maybe they meet people while they're trick-or-treating. And I'm not joking, I've actually gotten a deal out of trick-or-treating. And I don't give value to that. Yes, it was great. I bumped into somebody and, you know, our kids started trick-or-treating together and they talked about their wanting to buy or sell a home. And yeah, that made a little bit of money, but a system can make you a living, right? And so, you know, this is the reasons people in the business fail. And so what we're going to talk to you today about is really, you know, what things are working now. And from my perspective, what I would do in order to put these numbers in my favor, right? And so in order to put them in your favor, from a marketing perspective, you have an unlimited budget for things that work. I mean, let's think about this for a second. You know, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about a couple that moved to Fresno, California. And we'll talk about another buddy of mine who, you know, didn't even have his license, left his engineering job and got into real estate. And another buddy that worked with me and all of my previous occupations since I can remember, and jumped into real estate. And all three of these people did really well. But what they did well is they had an offer. They learned how to convert cold traffic. They got leverage. They increased their income and were able to make the investments in their business from the profit of their sales and marketing funnel. See, the purpose of marketing is to make selling superfluous. Superfluous means pointless. That's Peter Drucker, the dean of modern management, right? And so here's the thing. We like to refer to our process that we're going to talk to you guys today about as a cash cow, because what you want is you want to get a system that provides you a steady income, steady profit. And so for me, that was always a fully integrated marketing and sales funnel that leveraged low-cost lead generation with high converting content. Now, when I first started, you know, I went after a very target audience, and after building 14 different funnels for all different types of agents from all different markets, from Canada to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to Fresno, California, Portland, Oregon, Orlando, wherever, you know, I remember thinking, like, why are we building 14 and letting people, you know, go with this one? Why wouldn't we give them the ones that work the best, right? And so that's where we really came up with the principles of what governed why some people had more success than others, right? So a cash cow captures the most on your investment into marketing, because again, the goal is, you know, for me, it's like drilling an oil well. I would get a cash cow in my business right now if I had to start all over from scratch. And then the first thing that I did once I got that profit is I would start taking over neighborhoods. Why? Because of the principle of duplication. You know, I watched the guy who flew with me and Jay back in 2005, like within 12 months, become the #1 agent and the #1 franchise real estate brand in the world. And on the plane, he told me, he was like, man, I'm going to take over neighborhoods. And a year later, he sold 77 homes in one neighborhood. Well, he had money to invest. But that's when you start building your brand. That's when you start, you know, really going after listings. But there, you know, you're either going to make an investment out of your profit, which is what I'm suggesting. Let's build a marketing and sales funnel that generates so much profit that you can invest in your business and grow it. That's the idea here. And so what that means is you have to have a financial model. I spent all morning on financial models this morning. Got up very early, and a friend of mine who works on this stuff with me, he's 3 hours back in time zone. So by the time he got up, I'd been up for 5 or 6 hours. And we jumped into financial models. And, you know, we have one personally. I've had one in pretty much every business that I can remember. Some of them were very elementary. As I started understanding the importance of them, they got better and better. But at the end of the day, this is what a cash cow looks like. It generates leads. It's going to have conversion. It's going to have appointments, nurtures. You're going to have clients. You're going to have referrals. You're going to have all these assumptions. And I'm going to go over the exact assumptions, the actuals. See, in a business model, you have assumptions that turn to actuals that let you know how much, like, If you're trading a nickel for a dollar, how many times would you want to do that? If you're trading a dime for a dollar, well, when you know your model and you know your metrics, you know when you're ready to scale. You want to nail it, then scale it. That's a book. Nail it, then scale it. If we were all in the audience, I'd say, let's repeat after me. Nail it, then scale it. I know one of you at least did that. But the truth is that there's probably like 8 of you not even paying attention right now. You're thinking of a past relationship. That's actually a real statistic. Most people, I think it was like 20% of people on an online training are thinking about a former relationship they had. So, hey, come back, pay attention. Let's go. All right, so we start with your financial model leads. And these are the actual numbers we generated in Fresno in 365 days. We generated 3,218 leads, right? And so that's what you want to do. You want to get a low lead generation cost. And remember, we're building a database, and your database's value is elastic to your communication with it. So we're building leads, and we're building leads. There's people that are motivated. Timing, again, is motivation. And so you want to be able to quickly sift and sort those people. And so when you, I'm going to play this for you. It's real short, but this couple, after a year, I could tell they got it. I met them. They were hovered over their phone, saying, hey, we're moving. Then they called me back. We moved. We want to get started, and then now this is how they talk about their business. Hey, I would ask them in the beginning, what's your average cost per lead? We don't know. What's your conversion rate? We don't know. Well, what's your average commission? Now they know their numbers. And this, we create a little calculator for people that we partner with. And when we walk them through this, because I want people to be able to scale.
So for us in the beginning, we just only want to make about consistently $30,000 to $40,000 a month from our business. So let's just say the law of average, say that for every single 100 leads that we generate, we get 1.5 clients. So what would the math looks like, and how much money do we need to spend? So we work backward. For example, if we were to generate $3 a lead, our daily budget for running ads is $20, we would get about 6.7 leads a day. For us, we have to do 4 deals every single month, and we have to figure out how many leads do we need to generate that month in order for us to make $40,000 to $30,000 a month consistently. So let me ask you a question. If you were to invest $7,200 to make $343,000, would you do it? Yes, you would, right? That's what we did. So the results in all of this within the last 365 days of us running ads, doing YouTube videos, and helping financial consultations and meeting client at new construction property sites, and our VA doing most of the heavy lifting, is that we've made over $409,000 in terms of income.
So here's the thing. Here's what they did. They established a beachhead. That's what they did. Right? They worked backwards from their numbers, which we did together. We created a little financial model. We made assumptions. So they were spending $10 a day until they felt comfortable that, man, this is working. But once you have a beachhead and you have a cash cow, then you have the ability, you have the knowledge, you went through the process. So now you can go attack adjacent markets like other neighborhoods, take advantage of other opportunities. And that's called a go-to-market strategy. And most people are just all over the place doing a lot of random different things that Lord knows where they learned it from and what information. I have people out there. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to digress, but I believe you need focus, guys. I really do. I think, if you can focus on one thing, really, I don't think you should build your business on one thing. That's a diving board business. And that goes against my core value, what I extracted from my mentor, Jay Abraham. You want to Parthenon, but in order to really get traction, you have to have a tip of spear. You have to say, man, we're going to take over this section, and with the profits, we're then going to go here and we're going to go here. And that's the concept, right? And the formula is actually really simple. It's you pick a target market, you get traffic. Where are we going to, how are we going to get these people? So this is who we're going after. I can give you I'll just give you a scenario: probate, waterfront property, new construction. You pick a target. How are we going to find these people? Then we get a great offer, and then we use a funnel. And the funnel is going to sift and sort and communicate and put the qualified opportunities into the right bucket. And so, when you find your target, you want to have people with high commercial intent, right? And then with your traffic, you got to decide, are we going to do search? Are we going to do social? Are we going after buyer, seller? Are we going to target affordability or selection? Are we going to go with time, meaning I want to have my home sold within this time frame, or ease, or maybe it's, for more money? And then what does all the follow-up and retargeting look like? So we do this stuff all the time. We start with low cost, and it's really actually simple. This is a screenshot from inside the ad manager. $3 a lead, $2.93 to be exact. 1% conversion ratio, customer acquisition cost, $300. That's what you want right there. $300 customer acquisition cost. Here's another one, primary offer. So same funnel, we run an offer to waterfront. We do it to cold traffic. That's why it's blue. And this is how we target them, right? And then we retargeted them with the second offer. So jab, jab, right hook, right? We have warm traffic with retargeting that makes an offer. And we have the custom audience parameters right there on the screen. And so this is what the ad looks like. Real simple ad, nice pull through, ran for lead generation. So the algorithm gives us exactly what we're looking for. We have the campaign objectives, which is probably the most important. And the other thing is the leads are pre-populated because of the way that we formate the lead ads versus, just going to a landing page, right? And so again, we have a response campaign, 46% response to our ad. And, they get the primary offer, they get the secondary offer. We get the most important thing, which is we get engagement. And then through that engagement, right? So like, look over here on the left, it says, yes, not ready. Aha, Uber is there. What's the price range? Sure, fantastic. My email is, yes, it is, thanks. These are all automated responses. 76% of the funnel that we audited that we're walking you through right now, of the people who bought, that responded to what we're calling social selling, had a positive response. So you're getting all these responses. Who cares about the no's? The no's, you got a yes, right? And with the yes, that positive response helps. And we'll break that down here in a little bit. Then you have cash offer funnel. It's another funnel that we did, but here's the thing. It's a $13 average cost per lead. And it works. I got a cousin right now that netted, she's 19 years old. In the last 30 days, and this was as of our conversation on Monday, she netted $98,000. This was someone who 8 months ago called me because they wanted to learn how to get into real estate. 98,000, 19 years old. Her name's Brooklyn Brown, right? The very first thing that I did with her is I helped her with that secret formula. What is your target offer? Where are we going to find them? And I'm telling you right now, the way that we found them, Woods did an interview with her, not recorded, trying to help her just make her business better. I had a long conversation with her, and that resulted in me reaching out to Woods, my business partner, co-author, digital president. I said, hey, man, Brooklyn's got some stuff that can be automated. Would you jump on with her and help her with this? He called me last night after they got done. He said, dude, that was supposed to be, I'm giving you I'm not trying to quote him, but this is how I heard it. It was like, that was supposed to be an hour call. It was 2.5 hours. He said, I got 6 pages of notes. Dude, what she is doing is unbelievable, Mike. That's the community that we create. And by the way, when I did the call with her on Monday, the very first thing she went to was her numbers. She went to her numbers for direct mail. The very first thing I had her do, because she was young and she didn't have a lot of money, is I taught her how to do a door hanger. Her name's Brooklyn Brown, the Colony, Texas. I didn't know her. She's my cousin. I didn't know her. My uncle Billy called me on a 3-way call with her and said, hey, will you help your cousin Brooklyn? She wants to get into real estate. And she's knocking the cover off the ball. Why? Because she didn't have anything holding her back. The biggest constraint you have in your business is not the problem. It's how you're thinking about the problem. You want to change something in your life, change the story you're telling yourself. This stuff works. It works. You have to have an ad. You have to have a funnel. You have to have a follow-up campaign. You have to tweak it until you get it right. Otherwise, what do you have to do? You're going to call all the leads 8 times, not take advantage of speed of response? No, it's speed to lead still, but you can automate those things, right? And we do this with new construction. $3.64 a lead, 1.5% conversion rate. So boom, with the 1.5% conversion rate, which was better than the condo, we just dropped our customer acquisition costs, right, to $200 a client. So the funnel looks something like this. Primary offer with that one, selection, affordability. We target them with the primary. retarget them with the secondary, go after cold traffic, which is most universal. And then we retarget them for conversion with the warm traffic. So it's like, boom, lead ad. Then boom, they go to Facebook for them. Click one button. It takes all their, no Mickey Mouse, no Donald Duck, grabs their right information. We give them the promise we made them. We put them into a pipeline and Tractor out. We put them into a contacting campaign. 50% of them are text, calling, or emailing us. And then we retarget them with incentives. So it looks like there's the ad, right? Pretty simple, straightforward. And then this is the retargeting ad. They get retargeted with the messenger. Again, it's in the pipeline. It's going after time frame, area. Do they have an agent? And they're seeing something like this. And if
you're
works.
thinking about buying a new construction property in Frisco right now, this piece of paper can help you save up to $20,000. I'm Woods.
Guys, is anybody on here speak Spanish? If you speak Spanish, put Espanol in the chat, because we have a Spanish funnel that is rocking. And if you know of anybody, let them know, because I'm literally barely running this for anybody. But if you know math and you look at the math on this funnel, it is unbelievable. So no one speaks Spanish on this webinar? Crazy. Usually I always have one or two people. So here's the thing, same thing, $2.17. We take the same funnel, we convert it over into Spanish. And let me tell you, new construction, why it works. Right now, it's a differentiated approach. I could go off on this. I'm not going to, because it always sounds silly. I try to make the point, so I don't want to be long-winded, but the leads are cheaper. 60% will buy. Does anybody on here work new construction now or like new construction? A lot of incentives, right? A lot of move-up buyers, 20%. 46% we're seeing in different markets. So we're seeing a lot of listings come from this funnel, right? Which is the move-up buyers. We're seeing a lot of, a lot of people who are newer, get assistance from the buyers, the builder, the builder sees people all day. They're usually professional salespeople, so they help with the follow-up. But one of my favorite is that, it's generally a better qualified opportunity. And right now, the incentives. I have a guy, he was like, my last 3 deals, I had a $5,000, $10,000 incentive for the real estate. That wasn't here last year. I wouldn't be doing this webinar telling you this. That's why I'm doing it live. I'm doing it live because I'm trying to tell you what's working now, right? What you can do now. And so again, we basically, when I partner with somebody, right, I generate their leads, right? I help them build out their leads, their scalable lead generation. And, usually what that means is getting them plugged into a simple step-by-step training, right? How many people right now feel like that you can follow a step-by-step training, right? Like a syllabus, if you will. Instead of, I believe there's too much training. Step-by-step means we're training you on this. Not like, here's all the things in the world you could do. No, we're training you on these 12 videos for this funnel, right? Something very specific. And that's the secret. So when we bring people on, when I say step-by-step, I mean like, okay, do you have a Facebook business page, right? Here's everything you're going to need, right? Step-by-step. Here's how you plug in. Because here's the thing. So when we partner with somebody, which is what we do, we partner with real estate agents all over the country, and our team sets up their funnels. Who would like for me to set them up a funnel? Anybody on here? Well, I'm glad you did. One person? All right, I'm going to hit you up at two people. You want me to build you a funnel? You want me to help you just put it together? We'll call it getting it to the end zone, right? And so here's what we do. Once we get your funnel, I want to be held accountable for math. I want you to know math. I'm not a company saying, hey, let me just generate you leads and you. No, I'm not in that business. This is in your ad manager. Your ad, the math, because that's what happens. Now you learn. And when you learn, you start to understand the model and the numbers. And now there's something that you can do that's in your control. So what we do again is we nail the conversation rate. The number one metric for today should be conversation rate. I see low conversation rates, low connect rates. And the reason is because truthfully, most real estate agents, they haven't segmented the role of inside sales and outside sales. So they don't have an ISA, which for those of you who want one, check out the book, Inside Sales Predictability. But you got to leverage content, trust-based marketing, right? You want to leverage content, trust-based marketing, and you want to leverage inside sales, but you can do all of that now with automation. And, you know, a lot of people are out here calling this automation because it's so sophisticated AI. It's not AI, it's behavioral driven. But I mean, you can get people engaging with you. We actually help build out workflows where 45%, almost 50%, almost every other lead is texting, emailing, calling you. Saturday, Sunday, 17% of the time you're going to get leads as Saturday, 17% as a Sunday, right? And then again, going to the math, what is our appointment rate? What's our cost per appointment? How much revenue have we invested? And when you get this stuff, you understand there's a process to this. This is the thing. You can't go generate a lead and then say, oh, well, what do I say to it? Or what do I do next? No, you have to have a pipeline. You have to know the conversion rates of those pipelines. I'm going out. Some of you might not have a team or you want a team, but listen, if you give the lead to your agent, and I know this because I made 18,000 outbound calls a week in 2016 when I wrote this book with at one point at the peak, we had 18 ISAs. But the reason I know that is I wouldn't give them leads because they couldn't beat my automation, but they would have a pipeline. They would know the exact scripts because again, what we're seeing now that's working so well is the social selling. And the social selling is what we do is we help you pick these 12 exact videos because it's an exact funnel. And we know based upon the psychology and our experience in learning and, you know, I want to go, this is probably the most important. I'm not going to get into it, but we teach you the psychology of what needs to be in the video, why they need to be short, why they don't need to be overproduced, how to produce and publish them. But we got what we call is the 3x4 method. And when you do that, here's what happens. These leads come in, they get automation. We are able to take these videos, put them into follow-up campaigns, put them into text campaigns. They start texting you. They start emailing you. They call you. You hear their voicemails and they're like, yes, please. We want to start the pre-approval process in September, right? This is a real lead in the system. And so here's the thing. That's social selling. So we teach you, right? We teach you. And I'll tell you what, I'm not saying that I couldn't help you, but I don't want to. I don't want to help you. If I'm not telling you to go start a YouTube channel, although you should. And maybe you'll think about doing that down the road. But if you do start a YouTube channel, wait 6 months until you sell. Even the best person I ever seen do it, you know, it took them 5 months. We don't have 5 months. We want to, it's way easier to grow fast than it is to grow slow. So if you're going to wait on the organic algorithm of YouTube to start suggesting your videos when there's all these people that are going to sell today that haven't went to YouTube yet, how do we go find them first and then tell them about our YouTube channel? That's called direct response marketing with content. That's the equation that we're teaching you, right? And then next thing you know, you have to have nurturers. 1 in 12 nurturers of ours, 8%, would actually buy a home with us in the next 12 months. So when you look at this financial model, not contacted, and you look at this 501 deal, they made the 409. But in January of this year, they had a huge pipeline. They didn't start from scratch. They had 1,473 people that had been contacted. 501 of those were now in some nurture campaign. They had 109 people that were still 3 to 6 months out, right? And they still had 17. They had things that they could do. And so what would you do? You have to have nurture. You have to have the video content. But if you do the 12 videos, we can layer that in to different campaigns based upon the sales pipeline, right? And so, you know, the videos thing's real simple. It's an authority funnel. It's like, how do we use and build authority and use, you know, and by the way, I am not saying, what I am saying is this is the foundation to launching YouTube, but it's not the focus. The focus is making money fast, profitably, so that we can get a return on our ad spend, right? Then if we want to transition and we say, now we want to do 12 videos a month, next thing you know, we have 2 playlists, 3 playlists. And with this guy, Lucas Rowland, literally in 1 week, he had 3 people that scheduled from his YouTube channel. That wasn't his focus. His focus was driving leads and following the system. What he ended up with is now 2 things. He ends up with a pipeline, he ends up with nurtures, and he ends up with now with this organic channel, right? And so now you're able to close things from that. And when people watch your content, guys, as consumption goes up, trust goes up. Great book. This book right here, No BS, Trust-Based Marketing. Great book. And this is the concept, right?
You can't imagine what happens when you make a piece of video content that's really good, that people watch for 2 minutes and 9 seconds, all the way through or 50% of the way through, and then you remarket them with a call to action. You can't imagine. You want to really believe in marketing? Do that. You want to really believe in how marketing works? Let me give you the quickest way you can feel really good at putting your head on a pillow and saying, yeah, this shit actually works. Make a great fucking video, target it properly, get hundreds of thousands of people to see quite a bit of it, and then remarket them for a call to action and watch how many convert. You'll believe in marketing for the rest of your life.
And I believe that. I believe that because that's where we're at. This is 2023, guys. You have to have a strategy. But again, there's steps to this. People are just I mean, if you don't dial in top of funnel, tofu, it's tofu, mofu, bofu. These are the principles that I'm teaching you. I'm trying to make it in a simple way. I'm not showing you, I'm trying to say, here's the steps. Let's nail your lead generation, nail your conversion, nail how you're going to actually get appointments. Make sure that you have a training, a methodology, a system, a philosophy that produces a conversion at a rate that you can predict, right? And then you start, those same videos we can chop up. We can go do micro short form content. We can build a brand, an omnipresent. We can geo-target. We can take over a neighborhood, right? We can literally make it look like you're everywhere. And you can even, this in the bottom, what you'll see is YouTube contracts. So closed, right? Closed YouTube contracts, right? That's amazing. That means that those people, through all of this other stuff, he started to get traction, right? And then he started to get the organic traffic. So you can scale, you can farm your database, you can leverage the content. All of those people who are unconverted, he could do, in December, as you're working up to December, through the holidays, you should be emailing your database. All of those people who are going to be wanting to do something at the beginning of the year that are sitting there, you can do something proactively to really launch. Instead of having a slow January or February, there's something you can do, a revenue generating activity that you can do that helps you, has a cause and effect relationship on your desired outcome. It's called a KPI. There's something in your control, right? And then you start getting, when you optimize these videos, you start getting those same funnels, and they're layered in your descriptions, and people start watching your videos and clicking here and scheduling with you. So let me ask you guys a question. If my team was willing to help you create a plan to build and launch a freedom funnel, would you want their help? Now, a lot of you guys already said yes. And for those of you who said yes, why would you? I want you to think about that. So I want to tell you the good news and the bad news. And let's start with the bad news. The right funnel will absolutely make your phone ring. But do you mind if your phone is ringing, if it's with qualified buyers and sellers looking for an agent? For those of you who want to start generating business consistently every week, here's the good news. Whether you're a new agent or you want to build a team or you want to expand into other markets, we can help you. In fact, what if I said my team and I could just build you a funnel? Literally write the ad, set up the campaign, build out all of the follow-up, everything you needed to turn on leads in your business like turning on a water faucet. Imagine if every lead was put into a proven contacting campaign, then they started calling and texting you, emailing you every day. Want more listings? We have a funnel for that. Want to build a team? Know how many leads you'll need? Imagine having access to everything you need. You need to get back on track to hit your goals this year? We got you. Want to take over a farm? Not a problem. Let us build out a hyper-targeted custom audience. Want luxury buyers and sellers? Let us help. Imagine no more guesswork, instantly having access to every system, tool, process we've ever created for our business. And if that's not enough, imagine if we did all of that and never charged you a dime. The results would be instant growth. You would never have priority confusion. You'd know exactly what to do. You would be fully trained with a roadmap and a team of rock stars to help you. You'd be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Are you interested in wondering how all this would work? Well, I'm glad you asked. We are partnering with agents, helping them execute all the tech stuff that typically is holding them back. We identify what's working and what's not working, what things you need to do more of and what things you need to stop doing. And the formula is actually really simple. We're going to define where you want to be in the next 36 months. Then we're going to reverse engineer a plan for what you need to do in the next 90 days in order to get there. Obviously, partnering with someone is a hands-on process. So I think it's best for all of us if we look at your current business and create your plan for free. That means get on a phone call with me. I'm going to do these calls Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm committed. If you're committed, I will get on the phone with you myself this weekend and build out a plan for you for free. And then we can decide if partnering makes sense moving forward. Now, if you meet our criteria, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a strategic plan call where we're going to review your current business and create your personal economic model. We're going to create a lead generation model and a marketing plan, do the math, reverse engineer your goals, and get a clear plan for how you're going to hit them. And we're going to review your options to partner, grow a team, or expand your business. Now, I want to tell you guys who this is for. People who understand the value of a system and can follow a process. You got to care about the client and the service you provide, and committed to learning and growing, and want a higher standard of training. You got to want to leverage the power of marketing, lead generation, and building a personal brand. You got to be hungry, humble, and smart. And you can't be too busy to take some training. Now, my training is all online, so you can do it online, and we got training where you can do it face-to-face with us, but you got to be open to being trained. Now, let me get one thing clear, guys. I'm not trying to sell you a coaching program. I'm not trying to sell you some lead generation system, but we'd be delighted to coach you and build one for you. What we're offering to do is partner with like-minded agents and not charge them a dime and help them grow their business. And if you'd like to know more about that and get the free strategic plan at no cost or obligation, you can text 972-472-2622, the $, or if it's easier, you can go to 6starstrategycall.com and you can get access to my personal calendar where you'll see my availability. I will be doing this also early next week before I travel. So once the slots aren't available, I only have so many, right? I'm a busy guy, but we don't have a ton of people on here. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are gonna take me up on this. So schedule your strategy call with me. Now, this is when I met James. I want y'all to watch this. I met them. They waited 1 year after seeing a presentation just like this. 1 year. He even says it. I saw you a year ago. Similar presentation, things that I was teaching that were working. Then a year later, he calls me. Once we built him his funnel, that first year, he did 409,000. So what did it cost him to wait?
There we go.
So
Okay.
how are things going?
Things has been going pretty okay. So Michael, I met you, I believe it was a year ago. It was a lunch and learn in Portland. Since then, my wife and I, we just got married, and we decided to move to California.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. But recently, so we just moved here, and I'm still currently licensed in Oregon. But both me and her, we are a week away from being licensed in California.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're really excited about, looking at different companies to join that benefit. I'm looking for a transition in a company to go with my wife that can both support, my business here in, Fresno, California, and also business back home. And there's just so much fees that I'm, being a husband and wife that I'm realizing, in California. And then also, I also want my license in Portland too. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the best route, really.
Guys, literally, like we said earlier, I'm going to send everybody an interview I did with them 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, where you can hear their update. It's unbelievable. In the video, they say, we can't even go into Starbucks or Target without people knowing us. Literally, it's like he's a YouTube celebrity. He didn't start on YouTube. He started with the funnel. We did it fast. It's easier to grow fast than it is to grow slow, right? And so a lot of you guys know my business partner, Levi. Levi worked in every business that I've ever had. He mowed grass for me. He was my assistant manager at Bally's. And this guy called me up one day after not seeing him for 10 years and said, do you still live in the same place? I was like, nah, man, that was like 3 houses ago. But long story short is he sat in that chair in January, never had sold a home, did 3.6 million and change his first 15 months, right? First 15 months.
0. All right. So I sold 0 homes in 2020, and we released the first YouTube video on December 5th of 2020. And in Q1 of 2021, we sold 0 homes. But when April came around, then we closed the first 2 transactions from YouTube. Now, this is what's happened over the next 15 months, is we generated 1,696 leads, 217 transactions at a 13% conversion rate. We've done over 121 million in volume and over 3.6 million in commissions, all organic with 0 ad spend. Thank you. So imagine that. So here's the deal. My friend Michael Reese, anybody know Michael? Say aye.
I, right? But again, he uses the system that we create. He manages his pipeline. He is super disciplined. That's why he's an amazing salesperson. He just didn't have an offer. He didn't have a strategy. He got a strategy. He became a digital marketer. He wasn't doing that before. He was doing kneecap to kneecap, like a lot of you guys are doing it, right? In his former business, not in real estate, in his former business, but he understood the skill he needed to learn was marketing. And not only did he learn it, he knocked the cover off the ball, right? But he did it because he understood the principles. Lucas, same thing. This guy's an engineer. He's like, he was like, I want to go full time. Tell me a little bit about your business in Indianapolis.
Okay, so I'm from Indianapolis, and the quick, I guess, background on my current situation is I am currently an engineer. I'm transitioning into real estate full time. I've been on the investment side for a couple of years, and I'm actually sitting for the broker exam in North Carolina, which is where I currently am. Either today or tomorrow, still figuring that out. Just when I have time, since I'm trying to enjoy myself down here too, you know. And so I'm going all in on real estate. I have a background because of a business that I had in high school that I grew.
Hey, Scott, I saw you just set your appointment, man. I'm looking to talking to you tomorrow on Friday. Listen, guys, Lucas now has a full pipeline. Y'all probably seen the video. He had 16 appointments in 1 week, right? In 1 week. And he literally called me. We launched his funnel in December. And he called me. It was probably 60 days. And he said, Mike, I need to learn how to hire some agents. I cannot keep up with all of this, right? Linda Dell, same thing, but she was in real estate for 25 years. And she told me, she said she got her first deal under contract in 6 days and did a second one in the first 30 days. She said, she was like, Mike, listen, I'll let her say.
Pleasantly surprised with the quality of the leads that I'm getting from this funnel that was just set up by comparison with Boomtown leads.
Yeah.
Boomtown, we get such a low response. We just dial for hours every single day. And these leads, oh, hey, Linda, I was going to call you today. Oh, thanks for calling me. Or whatever it is, we want to talk about it. I can't even believe the quality of the people when I'm making a connection with them. They like want to talk to me.
And that's because of marketing. Same thing. This guy, Brooks is in Arlington, Texas. And
we created about 3 or 4 funnels. We're working on the new construction funnel, looking to, I already pulled up Fox News to figure out what I could do to identify the person there to get on TV so that we can start running on that. We've got, Jake, how many leads did you set appointments with today? 2. He did 2 yesterday. And Jake's been doing this for about a year as an ISA. And we've got at least, I think, 8 to 10 under contract. Been running it for about 2 months. I can pull up. Yeah, the call's coming back.
And listen, we're going to end with this one. This is Michelle spending $10 a day, generated 212 leads. Listen, I'm not even saying that you should expect that. You know, I think you need to get about 300 leads through your funnel before you start, really having enough data. But listen, she had 2 under contract, 5 on, I think 3 more on the street.
So first of all, when did you start with this?
Like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
How many leads have you generated in 2 weeks?
Gosh, I think it's 200 something that's in there now.
And
I can tell you right now. Hold on, because I just downloaded the app. I think it's 200 something.
And
yeah.
And so how many transactions do you have working right now?
So, okay. 212. And we have 5 on the streets, and we have 2 under contract from this.
All right. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And so about how much would you say that you've spent in lead generation? What's your budget? What's your daily
doing
budget?
$10 a day.
That's insane.
I'm doing $10 a day.
All right. So everybody, if you decide, again, you can text or you can go to my calendar. Let me for everybody who plans on scheduling a call, let me just give you 60 seconds what's going to happen, just real quick. So, and I just had this profound idea. because I have your attention right now. When you schedule the appointment, there is going to be an email. In that email, it's going to have the Zoom link, and it's going to have a hyperlink to a video that I just recorded last week that says, why partner with us? That video will give you a little bit more details. My goal, again, is to help you with this strategy call. If you're interested in how it works, then watch that video and write down your questions, because when we're on that call, my goal is to add as much value to you as I possibly can. So yeah, check that out. Schedule the appointment. If you schedule the appointment, look for the email, and that's about it. That's all I got for you guys. Hopefully, you know what I'll end with is I'll share this with you guys. For those of you who got a couple minutes to stick around, let me share this with you. This is the first of all, let me read any questions in the chat. Looks like every lead, ever generated vehicle circle. I need this. My man, Scott. Scott's already scheduled. So let's go, Scott. I'm excited. But I want to share this with you. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, we're going off the cuff here. I just have to, I think this will be helpful. All right. Let's see here. We'll look up so if you want me to send, I'll put this in the chat too. So if you want to watch this whole thing, I'm gonna put this in the chat. And I'm gonna share my screen again. Where is it at? Let's see here. Share screen. Boom. Let's refresh this. We're gonna have to do it kind of fast. Boom. And then get down here and turn
buyer appointments, not 16 showings, 16 different clients that I had appointments with in 1 week. I'm already buried, and I'm spending like $10 a day on ads. Like, I was getting calls. I was getting calls within a day or two. Hey, I've been watching the videos. I know I want to work with you. Nobody else. Don't worry. I know how I bought houses before, so I know how this works. Don't worry. I'm not talking to any other realtors. I want to work with you specifically. I'm lazy. I don't want to have to post videos. I don't want to have to write descriptions. I don't want to have to do, like, none of that is value add if I don't have to do it. Getting started really is as easy as just pressing record and then doing it again and again and again. Do genuinely believe I think 7 figures is possible by the end of this year.
So, hey, Lucas, man, nice to catch up with you. How are things going?
Really, really good. So
this is an entire video. I put a link to it if y'all want to watch it. There's a there in that link, if you want to go check it out, I put it in it's under Freedom Funnel Class /Lucas. And I did the FAMs as well. They're about a year ahead of Lucas, so their story is real great. The cool thing about them is they brought in a bunch of virtual people to help support. And when I say a bunch, they got virtual assistants to help them with some of their database management, some really, really cool stuff. So if y'all want that video, just put FAM, PHAM in the comments, and I'll pull down your information and send it to you. All right, let me just do it now. It looks like a lot, or I'll send it to you, Nicole. All right, y'all gonna make me just go ahead and grab it. Let me just grab it real quick, and I'll put it in the comments. Y'all watch it. I think you'll like it. It was a great interview, great people. I already have it, so I'm copying the link, and I just put it in, and it's actually /FAM. So there you go. So anyway, yeah, watch those 2 videos, 6starstrategycall.com, or you can go and send the text, and it'll send you the link to my calendar, whichever way you do. You don't see it. It's right above your post. It's not there. Let me see. Hold on. All right. Well, I'm not in a rush, so let me see. FAM. It's right here. freedomfunnelclass.com /FAM. That's the URL. Right? And
we moved from Portland, Oregon to Fresno, not knowing anybody. And we stayed at my brother's house in his master bedroom. We were able to buy our own house, and we were able to have 9 or 10 people under contract, I believe, at that time. It's totally different when you meet with somebody that gone through your funnel versus if somebody is just out of the cut, like for example on social media. And the reason why it's different is because they've already built that relationship with us through videos, through text messages, and they watch all of our videos and they feel like they know us.
When we go to Target, they recognize him because he's always on the video. And so, oh, hey man, you're the YouTube guy in real estate.
When we meet with them, they automatically trust us and we spend less time closing with a buyer than we do doing listing.
Thank you to you, Michael, and also to Woods, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have the right system and tools and everything in place.
One funnel will keep you so busy that we have hundreds of leads that just message us and we haven't connect with because we've been on vacation for the last 2 months. We just ask phrase and ask questions and put a link in our text messages and our auto text to our calendar.
So anyway, I'll let you guys watch that, and hopefully y'all were able to get that link. Let me see. All right, so long story short, if you need anything, feel free, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everything. Thanks for jumping on. Hopefully you got the link. Only you can see the text, apparently. I can't see it, sorry. Okay, if you don't see it, here we go. If you don't see it, send me a text on my send me a text on my cell phone. I'm gonna give you guys my cell phone number. Here we go. This is my cell phone. 972-672-6271. That's my cell phone right here next to me on my desk. If for some reason you have a problem, just send me a text. I'll get it over to you quickly. All right. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. You have a great day, and look forward to talking to you soon.